we had the classic Phil Spencer interview that he does every once in a while with a updated Phil Spencer shelf. Everyone loves to dissect that shelf and see if there's any fun tidbits on there. Someone did point out that the Xbox Keystone is still on his shelf, even though there's no actual reveal for it. And I don't think it's going to get revealed at this point, and he just has it to have it. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, we were going to do this. We're not going to do it, but I'm just going to keep it on my shelf and fuck with people. But no, did have a Phil Spencer interview where honestly I feel like one of the big things about the interview, in my opinion, that take away from it is that Xbox just really doubles down on the multi-plat future to come, right? Yeah. And we saw this with this developer direct where it's like, at least a couple of these aren't necessarily Xbox owned studios, right? But it's, they're all Xbox published. One of them is from Bethesda and ID Soft, which is owned by Xbox, and it's still going to go on PlayStation. It's going to be multi-plat. But just really hammering on the multi-plat mindset for the future, which like more games everywhere. We want people just to play our games. Because it was asked about Starfield, and he flat out said, no, there's no fence preventing Starfield to go to PlayStation. But he said, yeah, it's going to go to PlayStation at some point. And it talked about Nintendo. It's like, we really want to work with Nintendo. More than we do right now. He talked about that he had some emails with the current CEO over in Japan and just super excited for the Switch 2 and this and that. And, we already know support they've done and more support to come. But
we want to destroy your new system. Let us throw something on it.
Yeah, basically, right? Like, let's just really destroy this thing. But again, just really hammering that the Xbox future is play anywhere. That's the mindset. And he still says, though, that a key focus to the strategy of Xbox is the hardware, but says that the big driving point for the hardware is the capabilities of the hardware, is what's going to push you to want to buy the console. And I was just curious you guys' thoughts on this, because in my opinion, the multi-plat thing is cool. More people being able to play games is great. But I just feel like Xbox is setting themselves up for a very extreme uphill battle for the next generation. That's how I feel.
I mean, capabilities of the hardware. There's very few things that come to my mind when you say capabilities of the hardware. Because currently, like, it almost, like, aside from the Series S, the Series X, and, like, even PlayStation 5, it feels like the only reason we would move to a new generation at this point is to just move to a new generation, because there's nothing out right now that's pushing these consoles to their limit.
Oh, no, by far
We're not even close to that. So we'll be moving to a new generation, but really for the first time before a limit has been found, which, I mean, is a bit disappointing, because then it's like, okay, well, why are we upgrading our hardware then?
Right.
But if you're talking about capabilities of a console, I mean, like, what does an Xbox not do right now? I can't take it with me. So what is he talking about when he's talking capabilities? Because, like, for me, I mean, you've been on about a handheld, like, console and that. It's the only thing that comes to my mind when you say, like, what our hardware will be able to do that, like, others can't, is just, okay, so you're it sounds like you're going to come out with, like, a handheld with the capabilities of a Series X right now, is what comes to my mind. I'm like, okay, well, if you do that, yeah, that'd be fucking cool.
Right.
But other than that, you're just saying words to say words.
And see, that's the thing that I really agree with you on, is like, this generation has been so weird.
Yeah.
So weird. Top to bottom, dude. Because it's like, we're going to get the next generation Xbox potentially next year. We're going to get the PS6 here in a couple of years or whatever. And it's just like, we really are just upgrading for no reason.
We've pushed exactly one console to its limits.
Yep.
And that's the Series S.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's it.
Fact.
It's like the Xbox Series X and the PS5. We're nowhere near pushing the limits on them yet.
Yeah.
It's like nobody's complaining, saying, oh, we're having to figure out how to make a game for the PS5. It's like the technology's not there. No, you're just going to upgrade it so that you'll hopefully get 100 million people to buy your next console, too. There's not any real reason for it other than, well, we usually do it every 7 to 8 years.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like, do we need to do that right now?
I mean, it's literally just, as y'all are saying, it's not necessarily an overhaul of the hardware itself, just maybe changing pieces here and there that work more optimally.
Right.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because it's, and again, going with the whole multi-plat mentality, it's just like, I mean, if your hardware, whatever you're talking about for hardware capabilities, buddy, that better be some sick ass hardware. Because I'm telling you, I feel like they're setting themselves up for a very tough next generation. I feel like it's just gonna be another generation where whatever Nintendo's got, it's always gonna sell, except for the Wii U, I guess.
It's just an Xbox case covering the latest graphics card for PC.
Yeah, basically, honestly, that's basically what it's gonna be.
I mean,
That
I
big ass
completely
brick.
understand
True.
why Xbox wants to move on.
Yeah,
Because
they
they
make
just
sense.
want to move away and get away from the Series S.
Yeah,
That's fair.
If they could get rid of it right now, they would be more than happy to.
true.
So they have the reason to want to do that. The problem is now you're going to move to a new console early and try to convince people to buy it. But then now everybody's gotten used to being like, oh, well, why'd you sell us a cheaper version before? Now you want us to buy the expensive version again for the new one. Because I mean, I'm not gonna be happy about that. I like my Series S. I know it caused them way too many headaches and way too much money, but I like that I had the option for it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look forward to upgrading to a new Xbox, which is one of the few times throughout, like, since I've been getting consoles, one of the few times I could say, yeah, I'm not looking forward to upgrading my Xbox,
Right.
just because I know it's going to be expensive.
Oh yeah, 100%. And if they are able to do the handheld thing and do it well, like you said, then cool, right? Like what is it going to be though? Like, is it going to be like you have a base console with something similar to a Portal, but actually it works completely independently? Because Xbox is, I think we can probably all agree, probably the best of the three major gaming companies to utilize cloud stuff. So utilize that in some capacity to be able to have access to all your games and kind of just move on the go kind of thing. I don't know. It's like, if your hardware capabilities is what's going to push, for someone to buy your console instead of first party exclusives, then that better be some damn good console, buddy. Because I am still in the firm believer of exclusive sell. I'm gonna buy a new Nintendo console to play Zelda and Pokemon, right? When it comes to PlayStation, I enjoy Horizon. I enjoy God of War now. I enjoy the Spider-Man games. That alone, so I was like, oh yeah, if those are happening, I'm getting a PlayStation.
Yeah. Since I like transitioned over to, like, during the PS4 generation, since I transitioned over and have primarily played everything on PlayStation, it is a foregone conclusion that when PlayStation 6 comes out, I will be buying a PlayStation 6. I like having my Xbox for Game Pass and the occasional, like, when they do actually come out with their own, like, exclusive game. But if games aren't going to be exclusive anymore, your selling point to me is Game Pass, to where I don't have to buy all the games throughout the year and I can pay for Game Pass
Pretty much.
to play some of them.
Right.
Other
And
than
play it anywhere.
it's like, is that going to convince me to like buy the console? It depends, because the thing is, right now, the Game Pass library on the console is still larger than the one on the PC client. So if more stuff, if it is truly going to be play anywhere, and all the games that are on Game Pass will be on the PC client, I don't have as much need for an Xbox.
Yeah, true. Which someone in chat said, what if it's a next gen Xbox console, but it's like a hybrid between the console and like a PC? Hey, that's what Zach just said. With just put the new graphics card
I was about to say,
in a box.
take the biggest graphics card, the latest graphics card, and just throw a
Slap it
case
in a
around.
box.
it.
Yeah, that's essentially what the next console is. And then just add some sort of handheld, portable mechanic to it, and there you go. You have a console that's going to be ungodly expensive.
A micro deck.
Dude, that thing is there's no way you're gonna be able to make a consumer friendly price. There's no chance. But honestly, also, by the time we get to the next generation with Xbox and PlayStation 6, Look, the entry price point is probably going to be $600 regardless.
Probably.
Like, I'm just keeping it real.
I mean, the PS5 Pro is what, 700?
Is it 7 or 6?
Is it 6 or
I think
7?
it's 6.
I think it might be 6.
It might be 6. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 6.
So I mean, if that's where they're doing with the Pro, yeah. I mean, next generation is going to be
Entry point at 6.
At base 6,
Yeah.
they may peak it to 7.
Yeah, which honestly, if they go really over the top with the Xbox, that may peak at 8. Like, you got to think about that for a second. You're spending $800 potentially on just a gaming console, which I don't want to shit on it.
On
but
a
it's just-
gaming library.
yeah, basically, that's essentially what you're doing is a gaming library. Let that sink in for a minute.
Versus Gabe Newell's Steam.
Exactly. Go to Steam. So I don't know that it's going to be interesting to see. Like I said, if your focus for your hardware is just the capabilities, man, I hope it's cool. I hope it's cool because I am a firm believer in having first party exclusives. Now, if they stick with the mindset of, yeah, we're gonna send stuff multi-plat, but like not everything's gonna be day one, like they kind of do with Indiana Jones and stuff. I mean, that's fine. I'm cool with that because I am an impatient person. That would be enough for me to drive to get a new Xbox. It's like, okay, yeah, I want to play this game immediately. I don't want to wait 8 months for it. That's just me though.
I don't think that there's a large amount of, especially like PC people.
Yeah,
It's like
I know I'm the minority.
Sony is very slow to put their games on PC, but people that are PC players are more than willing to wait like 2.5 years on a game to finally come to PC to
I know.
play it.
I'm the minority in that feeling.
And it's like, it's one of those where a lot of times I'm willing to wait on something to come to my preferred platform.
Yeah.
It's like if I have the choice of like buying the new Xbox or waiting 6 months to play it somewhere else, I may wait 6 months to play it somewhere else.
Totally fair. Totally fair. See, I'm very impatient. If it's a game I really, really want, I have to stress I really want to play it. I'll find my way to play it. That's just me though. But I do realize that I am very much in the minority on that front. So I don't know. I feel like Xbox is shooting themselves in the foot for the next generation right out of the gate. But we'll see how it goes. They're just basically becoming I feel like at this point Xbox is just, they're going to really end up just becoming the same route as like, Sega or let's just say Sega because they don't have consoles anymore. I feel like they're just going to go that route eventually. Well, if this next Xbox console, whatever it's going to be, if it fizzles out, I think Xbox hardware is done. I'll say it as I think it's done, and I think they're just going to just make games.
I don't know. It may not be done, but they probably may take a step back on full-on console and make something weird.
Yeah, it'll be less about like a dedicated like new console every few years, and it would be more of, I feel like it would become more of like an iterative thing that would just be like a box you would hook up to your TV.
Yeah.
To where it's like anybody can have it. It'll be a couple $100. It's not going to be the best thing ever, but it'll get the job done.
Right. So I don't know. The Xbox future is going to be interesting. We'll see how things play out, I guess.